And we'd like to welcome everybody to Muddy Creek Raceway to the 2026 AMA Joe Byrd Memorial ATV MX National Championship here in beautiful Blountville, Tennessee. Man, I'll tell you one thing, we have got a crowd here. I'm up here with the voice of Tennessee Motocross, John Patrick. John, always great to have our ATVs come to town. They haven't been with us for a few years, and here they are back with us again.
Yeah, and it's sad to think that we're talking about a Joe Byrd Memorial. He has always been, he has always been a part of it. We've had several nationals here in the past, and, Joe was such a big part of it, and, he's going to be missed, but it's going to be a great honor to have this race this weekend, certainly remembering him and his years in the sport. And we were talking off the mic just a little bit ago. Joe was just one of those guys who was just always so bold and fearless and, always competing. And, it's just a fitting thing to pay tribute to him this weekend.
Well, I think it's a great thing that the Muddy Creek Raceway crew and the Victory Sports made this happen for Joe Byrd and his family. He was a big part of this for many, many years, and we're certainly glad to do this, and we're certainly glad we've got a beautiful weekend for weather this weekend, John, here in Tennessee, and it's going to be some great racing.
Absolutely. We got sunshine, maybe 75-ish today, and tomorrow looking perfect for, amateur racing. So, and track looks absolutely perfect this morning, so can't wait to get started.
We're still in my practice mode for you guys out in the world, and we are getting ready to have our last 2 rounds of practice. 90 Open, Super Mini, and Schoolgirl making their way out on the track. Practice number 14, our future stars of ATV racing, the 50 class, coming up, final practice of the day before we start our opening ceremonies here at Muddy Creek Raceway. For you guys out in TV world, this is ATV Motocross. This is the elite motocrossers in the world right here, battling it out in Tennessee for national championship. This travels around the United States, and this is the stop here in Tennessee this weekend. Great competition. We'll have our pro races. That will crank up today at 1 and 4. We'll be running amateurs in between that, but we also have some great classes that right down from the pros. So we have a women's pro class, the WMX class, and they'll be running here real strong, middle way of the pack. We have several, most of our amateurs run 1 moto today, but we have 3 classes, the WMX, which is the women of motocross ATVs. They'll be running 2 motos today. The Pro Sport, which is a stock class for our pros, they'll be running today. Then we've got the Pro Show. They'll be coming out at 1:30 and 4 o'clock today. Those guys will be running 18 minutes plus 2 laps, so about a 22, 23-minute lap time on this 1.6-mile Muddy Creek National Track. I'm up here with John Patrick. John is the voice of Tennessee Motocross and Tennessee anything we do around here at Muddy Creek Raceway. John, you've been doing this for 38 years. I have not been doing it that long here, but boy, I tell you one thing, it's always a pleasure to work with you and come here to Muddy Creek Raceway.
Yeah, 40th anniversary for Victory Sports, so, I'm kind of a Johnny-come-lately. I've only been here 38, so, yeah, it's been interesting. We've seen some great riders, obviously, come and go. Looking forward to our first pro moto coming up today at about 1:30. Chad Weenan, the great Chad Weenan, has hung up the gloves and the goggles, and it's kind of Joel Hedrick's world, I think, right now. He was looking at the points last night. He is up by, I think, 38 here as we come into round number 4.
He's been really tough this year, but he's been tough for a number of years.
Oh, absolutely.
He grew up with us. I can remember him, and he's been in it since he was 5 years old. And he has been a phenomenal rider and continues to be so. And he's not a spring chicken. He's in his early 30s. But, man, I'm going to tell you what, he can still do it. I would probably put him as maybe the best in the world right now.
I Don't doubt that a bit.
But anything can happen in this sport, as you guys well know. Something could break or anything could happen, and it happens every once in a while. But he's had a good run. He's got a pretty good points lead, but like you say, you never know what's going to happen in the sport of ATV and motocross racing.
Well, again, track's probably a little different from some of the tracks they've seen. It's a lot of elevation changes here, and a lot of obstacles and whatnot, and some high-speed areas. So, who adapts to it better, faster, is probably going to rise to the top.
Absolutely, and I agree with you 100%. Every track you go to around the United States, the soil is different. Some are sand tracks, some are clay, some are, this is a real clay track that has a lot of mulch in it. Really sets up good for our riders. Plenty of width, plenty of passing will go on in all the classes today. And it's about 1.6 miles long as they work their way around the track. And right now we're on our 90 open, so we are pretty close to wrapping up our practice, and we'll be getting opening ceremonies going here in a few minutes. 50 class, our future stars of ATV racing will be come up, and that'll be the final practice of the morning. As you can tell around the track, these young riders doing a fine time. And as you can look around the pits today, we have a full house. It is a bunch of folks here from all over the United States, probably 25, 30 states represented here on this ATV National here at Muddy Creek Raceway in beautiful Blountville, Tennessee. As the checkered flag is out on a 90 Open Super Mini and schoolgirls. Here comes our final practice of the morning here at Muddy Creek Raceway in beautiful Blountville, Tennessee.
I want to thank the folks who make it all possible, of course, including Rocky Mountain ATV, Motorcycle, Kenda Tires, VP Racing Fuel, Arma, also DWT, SSI Decals, Henson, Elka Suspension, Defiance Lifestyle Apparel. They're here. Got event T-shirts, of course, today. RP Race Performance, 88 Live to Ride, Rocket Racing, of course, AMA, of course, and in memory of Michelle Jenkins.
Race number one for 450A. You need to be making your way to staging. Race number one to staging. 450A. Race number two, Open B to staging. Open B to staging. Race 1 and 2 to staging. Absolutely. I tell you, it's great. We got a good team of vendors here, and, of course, a lot of good food vendors here. We've got a couple of barbecue and kicking chicken going on up there. They got it going on. And, man, I'll tell you, one of the most popular things here this weekend has been the lemonade stand. And that surprised me. They were busy as bees yesterday, especially once the sun came out and got a little bit warmer. And they really do a good job up there on that lemonade. It is absolutely off the hook. Easy Squeezy Lemonade, Kickin' Chicken, and Juicy Butts Barbecue. That's three good names there, isn't it, John?
Yeah, I had it. They brought us a bit of a sampler from Juicy Butts last weekend. We were down here doing a Saturday race, and man, the brisket is on point, as somebody on TV likes to say, but just juicy and tender, and had some smoked sausages, and they've got it all pretty much going on.
They got it all. You're right about that. And you know, the older I get, the quality is more important to me than quantity. And man, the quality is great here of our food. So you guys need to check it out here on the grounds here, and all the spectators and fans that are with us here this weekend at Muddy Creek Raceway. Race number one, you need to be in staging here at beautiful Muddy Creek Raceway as we get ready to do our opening ceremonies and our national anthem here in just a few moments. On behalf of all the staff here at Victory Sports, we welcome you here to Muddy Creek Raceway to the 2026 AMA Joe Byrd Memorial ATV National MX Championship. It has been a wonderful, wonderful season so far. Our pro champion, Brother Hedrick, he's doing a great job defending his title up to this point right now. The Fast 50s, our final practice is out on the track right now as they work their way around. We're just moments away from cranking it up and getting the thing started. Again, 450A, race number 1, you need to be in staging. They're getting ready to load you on the gate right now. Race number 2, open beta staging. First call for Masters 50AB with 50C, so they'll run a little staggered start. And for you guys out in the television world, sometimes we have 2 and 3 classes we run together, and we'll have staggered starts, meaning that we'll let the quicker, the A class go first, and then about 20 to 25 seconds between the second one, then the second gate will drop, meaning that we'll be running multiple classes at the same time, but we always like to start with a class that's a little bit quicker before we do so. Final practice making their way around the track as we're having an excellent practice this morning. Everything flew good. As I see, checkered flag is out right now as we speak. So it is over. Practice is over. We getting ready to go racing here in Blountville, Tennessee, Muddy Creek Raceway. It's getting ready to go, John. We getting ready to turn them loose as they are loading them on the gate right now for race number 1.
Yeah, I got to see some video yesterday of practice, and I tell you what, the guys, only running that bomber hill, the big uphill loop. Some of the pros running that yesterday, and it's going to be fun. I'm telling you what.
All right, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to start off with a prayer this morning before we get started. Lord, please bless each and every person here, all the staff, everybody involved with this event this weekend, and all of our ATVMX family as they travel here to Muddy Creek Raceway here in beautiful Blountville, Tennessee. Be with them throughout the weekend and on their travels back home. Lord, bless our riders from the start to the finish, from the 50 to the 450, from the amateur to the pro. Be with them on every lap, Lord. And God bless our country. Be with our military as they battle around the world for our freedom so we can do what we're doing here on this Saturday here in Tennessee, racing our ATVs. In Christ's name I say this prayer, amen. Would you continue to stand, ladies and gentlemen, for your national anthem? Let's go racing here at Muddy Creek Raceway in beautiful Blountville, Tennessee. As they lining them up, race number one, doing a lot of little track prep. I'm Ken Farrell with Moto Sound Productions, and I'm with the great one, John Patrick, the voice of Tennessee Motocross. John, looks like we are in for a fun day and a real good day of racing.
I think so, man. What a great way to start. 250A coming up first. Got 16 guys on the gate. Absolutely looking forward to this first one. You got the 02 Braden Shimon, Williamsburg, Virginia on the Yamaha. It's going to be the 2 of Vincent Marinucci, Akron, Ohio, another Yamaha rider. Suzuki number 5, Malachi Staten, one of our local riders, Bakersville, North Carolina. The 7, Jeff Presby, Franconia, New Hampshire. The 13 of Tyler Kelly, Loretto, Tennessee on the Honda, as we are actually getting set to go racing. And they're off on moto number 1.
J.J. Sheffield, the 16 machine out of Pennsylvania. The 19 of Dominic Chiacca out of Pennsylvania. Tyler Pagel out of Florida. Justin Canterbury out of Wendell, North Carolina. Philip Lurie out of Lakesville, Massachusetts. Dylan Jefferson out of Louisiana. Ted Van Brick out of New York. Kendrick Kulik out of Indiana. Mario Gonzalez out of Florida. And Blake Lemire out of Connecticut. In the 714 machine out of Bellevue, Michigan, Casey Fancher.
And last is first. It's going to be Casey Fancher. 714 Honda, Bellevue, Michigan, who's got the whole shot.
Great racing all the way around the track already as we just dropped the hammer on the 458 class. Open B class coming up next. Race number 2, race number 3. Masters 50 plus A and B staggered with Masters 50C. Race 2 and 3 to staging, and they are rocking our world as they make their way down on the backside, headed towards Rocky Top.
So Fancher's going to lead it. Dylan Jefferson actually is going to be a second, got out of the gate second, and followed by Ted Van Brink, Justin Canterbury, Jaden Schiffer, top 5 as they made that first pass.
It's a Honda out front and 4 Yamahas right behind them as it's Fancher, Jefferson, Van Brink, Canterbury, and Schiffer as they make their way around here for lap number 1. 450A making their way out on the track.
Got a battle going on for 4th place. A couple of those Yamahas battling as they come off the staircase down onto the Door Freeway.
Yeah, you'll hear us out there in the TV world talking about certain things, certain places on the track that we call Rocky Top, the Thor Freeway, the FMF Step Up. We have all kinds of little nicknames we go and around. Boy, I'll tell you one thing, these guys are ripping though. Track conditions are absolutely superb right off the get-go, John.
Absolutely, and Fancher starting to put a bit of cushion between himself and Dylan Jefferson. Those two got out 1-2, and with Van Brink in the 3rd spot, you got about 5th place on back, man. They are just nose to tail. Got a battle going on. I think that's the 2 of Vincent Marinucci. And maybe Gonzalez, I think, right in front of him.
He's got a pretty good lead of about 2 seconds. Fancher getting it done. Van Brick trying to catch up with him. He had about a second lap, maybe a little bit less than a second lead the first lap around, but he stretched it out for over 2 seconds now. So we'll have to see if he could pull away. I'll tell you one thing, right now they got the best track of anybody so far. It's going to be pretty smooth till it starts getting rough.
It's gonna start getting a little gnarly here as the day goes on, but haven't had a ton of rain this week. I mean, the crew has done, a terrific job getting ready, but it's going to take a pounding as the day goes on, that's for sure.
These guys use every bit of the track. They go end to end every which kind of way, and they are really ripping along. Some of these, like the freeway, they're getting up around 50, 60 miles an hour. But this is a very technical and a very track that shows a lot of terrain up and down and all around in this beautiful valley here at Muddy Creek Raceway.
Got a challenge going for second or for third. So it was Van Brink that got a little out of line there down on the Thor Freeway, and Jefferson has gone to second. Jaden Schiffer looking racy. He's trying to pick off that second spot.
Got good little battles going all the way around the track. Like you say, it's still second and third. Still got a hall going on. Fourth is not far off. Fifth is a little bit further back. But those three, second, third, and fourth, as they make their way on the far side of the track, headed towards Rocky Top, they got it going on over there for sure. Jefferson holding on to that second spot, shifting third, Van Brick fourth, Canterbury fifth. But it's Casey Fancher, the 714 Honda rider. He is the one getting it done as he works his way around in this 458. Again, race number 2, you should be on the line. 70 shifter, Schoolboy Jr. Race number 3, 30C, 40C, 50 plus. Women, you should be in staging.
Casey Fancher trying to go wire to wire. He is the Bellevue, Michigan Honda rider out front. All 4 racing, Slick Products, M&S Motorsports, Spec Bolt, Rocket Machining, Flow Vision, the RV Techs, Rocket Machinery, KC Collision supporting him this weekend.
These guys need a lot of support. It costs them. They travel from all over the nation here to Tennessee, and they do this circuit every year, and it is expensive. You can only imagine with the fuel prices right now and those big rigs and tractor trailer rigs and motorhomes as they make their way through. But it's all about this sport, and this is a national championship. This series been going on for, golly, 40 years plus, and it has we have the best of the best in the world right now as they work their way through. White flag is out.
Tell you what, the guy on the move right now, Jaden Schiffer, he finally pulled off the pass on the 83 of Dylan Jefferson, and look at the separation he's already gotten.
Good battle for third between Jefferson and Van Brick. Canterbury a little bit further distance back in that fifth spot. So the best, probably the best one going right now, the best competition is between Jefferson and Van Brick as they battle hard for that third place. White flag is out, 1 to go, so the checker will be out next time around.
Yeah, Jefferson and Van Brick, that is the battle right now as they head through that short chute behind the starting gate. Oh, a little bit of a bobble there by the 4th place rider. Got a little too tucked up there into the corner right there on that little hump entering that off-camber right-hander, and that's going to cost him a little bit of space right now to Jefferson.
Man, I'm going to tell you, Schiffer, if he had one more lap to go, he might pull up on the leader.
Right now, I think he might be the fastest guy out there.
I think you're right. He is really rocking our world right now as they make their way around the Muddy Creek sweeper for the final time as they work their way to the FMF Parts Unlimited finish line as they work their way through.
Yeah, look at him. He ran a 136.6 to Fancher's 138 flat in that last lap, and you can see that on the track. There's the checkers. Wire-to-wire win. Casey Fancher on the 714 Honda. He's going to get that first moto win, or the moto win.
All right, we got a good qualifier coming up next. It's going to be the Open B class. And we're going to have 2 divisions in those guys. They'll start them on a stagger, and then we'll have to run the LCQ after the final moto there. But Fancher takes the win. Schiffer's going to take second. The 83 of Jefferson third. The 95 of Ted Van Brick fourth. And the 38 machine of Justin Canterbury on the Blue Crew Yamaha taking that 5th spot. Coming up next is Open B Division 1. It's Jackson Cole out of Alabama. Adlin Harlell out of Pennsylvania. Cohen Lee out of Massachusetts. The 26 of Andrew Velasco out of Newton, North Carolina. Brock Alexander from Indiana. Tommy Simpson out of Indiana. David Cunningham out of Glen Allen, Pennsylvania. Jesse Voles out of Jamestown, Tennessee. Blaine Thomas out of Quincy, Illinois. Allison Kuwak out of Michigan City, Indiana. I've been there before. the 306 of Dalton Thomas out of Quincy, Illinois. In that Division 2, it's the number 3 of Jesse Gardner, the 14 of Maverick Simpson, the 34 of Tyler Podolsky, Chris Furches, the 47, the 53 of Naima Shaw, Jesse Baber out of Indiana, the 212, the 231 of Colby Tucker out of Kentucky, 247, Trent Conagali out of Pennsylvania, Josh Decker out of Georgia, and Noah Sisk out of Fort Royal, Virginia, the 414. So we're getting ready to start our second moto of the day. This is the Open B class. These guys are trying to get up where they can run A class, and these guys are fast too. And this is going to be a staggered start, so we got to qualify them down to 20. So we've got more 20 in this class, so you always have to qualify. In our sport of ATV racing, our starting gate is 20. That's the most we can run at any one time. And they're getting ready to launch them off the south of the border training facility launching pad.
Yeah, I think we got quite the variety today. We're talking about classes for 4 to 6 year olds. We got the seniors, 50 plus, men, women, all going at it on this beautiful Saturday as the sun starts popping out.
It is. It's a beautiful day here in Tennessee. Nice weather. We just had the owner of the Phoenix race team came in to see us, Joel Hedrick's owner, and man, I'm going to tell you one thing. He's done a whole lot for this sport, and we're glad to have him. Brother Eller and his crew. Again, Open B, Division 1, Division 2 on the line. Cards up. We're getting ready to go racing here. Beautiful day for racing here in Tennessee, and man, we are so tickled to have Apex here, the Motoworks team, doing this live broadcast here. John and I, we've been doing this for many years here at Muddy Creek Raceway. It's always nice to have another little dimension to our production. Here we go as they make their way down towards the Thor Freeway.
And we got a battle going on right out at the front. Fourth place trying to pick up a spot as well. So that's going to be the number 12, Hayden Artle out of Pennsylvania. He's got the 23, Cohen Lee, South Berwick, Maine. Sitting back there in third place, man. There's a trio, actually 4, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Boy, they do
nose to tail, man. They are slicing and dicing.
They are that. Boy, they are really dicing, going back and forth and 3 and 4 wide around this beautiful Muddy Creek track. Here comes our second starter, Open B class. Let's see. And here comes our staggers. They make their way through.
Leader coming across the natural, taking a little glance over his shoulder. It's going to be the 231 who's going to lead early here. Colby Tucker, Lebanon, Kentucky, and then you got Jesse Gardner on his heels, Strasburg, Virginia, aboard the number 3 Yamaha.
Man, I'll tell you, it's some really great racing as they work their way around the track. It is a beautiful, beautiful track we have here today, that is for sure.
So that first class, Hartle is your leader on that first lap. Cohen Lee, Dalton Thomas, David Cunningham, Jesse Voiles, top 5 as they came across the finish line first time around.
Here comes our battle in that Division 1 as they make their way down the Thor Freeway.
Also want to say our drone view today sponsored by Rip It Up Film, so you're going to get some really good high shots. You're going to be able to get right in the middle of the action as well, so check it out. That drone again by Rip It Up.
And I'll tell you what, the drone has really made all sports so much better to get that bird's eye view. In some of these, as you can see, they're going right with the race action as they work their way around. But it is some great, great racing going on.
And we got not one, but two races going on right now. The second qualifier leader right now starting to put some ground between himself and the rest of that field. And again, that continues to be the 231 Colby Tucker, Lebanon, Kentucky, the 3 of Gardner, about 2.5, 3 seconds back. That one's a little bit more strung out, I think, than our first class, where we've had some great racing going on.
Yeah, Harder continues to lead that one, the number 12 machine on the Blue Crew Yamaha. But look at that Suzuki running in that second spot. Cohen Lee doing a great job as he makes his way around. Then we got a Honda in that third spot. Dalton Thomas doing great. Cunningham on another Blue Crew and another Honda. J.C. Bowles as he's moved into the top 5 with that first division as they work their way through.
Look at the top 3. Man, you throw a blanket across these guys.
Masters 50 plus, Masters C, you should be on the line. Race number 3, race number 4, 90 shifter, you should be in staging. The first call for 50 open, race number 5 to staging.
Got a group of 3 out in front, and then a group of 4, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place. But man, second place, Cohen Lee putting pressure on Hartle at the front of the pack.
Great race and plenty of room to race as they work their way over the FMF Parts Unlimited finish line. White flag is out, 1 to go. Here in this race number 2, Open B class, Division 1 and 2.
Yeah, look at your lap times of the top 3 there. Hartle at 1:38.8, Cohen Lee 1:38.4, Dalton Thomas at 1:39.2. They're the only 3 out in that qualifier anyway, sub 140.
Great racing all the way around the track here in race number 2 as the white flag is out here in Tennessee for our second race of the day. And the Blue Crew Yamaha continues to lead them all. Good racing going on. Now it's a great time to get y'all guys the spectators, some good food up there at our food court. And they got it going on up there. Get you some great barbecue, chicken, or good lemonade. I believe all of them are open now. So, yep, I see the lemonade stand open there too. Boy, they were busy as bees. And it's warming up here in Tennessee today. I think we're going to get highs of the lower to mid 70s. So if you're in the sunshine, you're going to be you might get you a little suntan today in Tennessee.
Man, look at Cohen Lee. He is just stalking, but he runs out of track as it's going to be Aiden Hartle aboard the number 12 is going to win that first qualifier in Open B. Aiden Hartle, Albion, Pennsylvania. So Cohen Lee on the number 23 machine out of Maine on the Suzuki, just right on his heels at the finish. Dalton Thomas, David Cunningham, Brock Alexander, your top 5. Colby Tucker, pretty much wire-to-wire win in that second division. I think there's the 10th place finisher in the first qualifier.
Well, we got another good couple of classes coming up. These are our 50. These are our senior classes, 50. These guys are 50 plus, and we have an AB class and we have a 50C class. Meaning the C class doesn't have quite the speed that the AB did. So we're going to let them go out in a stagger start. So the first group out will be Steve Miller, the number 3 machine, 4 of Chris Miller, the 5 machine of Brian Jenkins, 17 of Benji James, the 33 of Lane Coley. Hank Dehart, my old buddy from Ridgeway, Virginia, the 48. Chad Mackey out of Ohio. Ernie Powers out of North Carolina. Kenneth Tucker out of Kentucky. Jonathan Argo out of North Carolina in that 50C class. It's a BJ Sosby out of Georgia. Jim Springer out of Pennsylvania. Matt Dozier out of North Carolina. Greg Van Winkle out of Virginia. Joseph Conker out of New York. Robert Nagy out of Tennessee. Christopher Adams out of New York. Mark Wheeler coming out of retirement on that Honda out of Madison Heights, Virginia. And the 554 of Michael Wilson out of Shelby, Michigan, as they make their way around lap number 1.
And looks like it is going to be Ernie Powers. Looks like it's going to be Ernie Powers out of Wilson, North Carolina, is going to lead that Masters AB class with Jonathan Arrigo and Steve Miller. And we've got an interview ready with BJ Sosby is going to got some
We are
thoughts
here
on
with
the
BJ
weekend.
Sosby. BJ, tell us what class you're running, and you've got some experience on this track as well, so any tips for the youngsters?
Well, the way the track is today, you just get out there and pin it wide open, and it's a real fast track. It's going to be real good, and hopefully, I mean, it got blue groove today, but it's going to be a good track tomorrow, so yeah.
And you're coming from Georgia, right? So how similar is Tennessee tracks versus Georgia tracks?
Well, the soil is a little bit different, but out here, the blue groove is famous for the blue groove out here. It's been like this for 25 years since I've been doing this. It's always been blue grooved, and that's what I remember, and I love it.
Well, good luck this weekend. We're rooting for you, BJ Sosby.
Thank you so much.
Back to the race, and Ernie Powers continues to lead. The 96 machine on the Blue Crew Yamaha. The 887 of Argo runs in second. Third, the Suzuki of Jenkins. Fourth, Miller on the Blue Crew Yamaha. And Chris Miller on that Flying 400 runs in that fifth spot. In the C class, we got Christopher Adams, the 75/, the 07. Jim Springer. BJ Sosby getting it done. The Flying 6 machine runs in that third spot. Mac Dozier, the 22 in that fourth spot. And rounding out the top 5 on the Kawasaki, Michael Wilson, the 554 machine out of Shelby, Michigan, as he runs in 5th.
Yeah, some of these guys, you know, we've seen here at Muddy Creek, so they've got their laps in here over the years at Muddy Creek. They got a good mix of some fairly locals as well as riders from all around, certainly around the East.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll tell you one thing, it's good to see. I see these 50s, and we even got a 60-year-old out there, Wilson out of Michigan, 60 years old and getting it done as he works his way around the track.
75 Yamaha, Christopher Adams, Pine Bush, New York, leading that Masters C class. And you're talking about the A and B class, 50 plus. Ernie Powers, again, Wilson, North Carolina, on that 96 Yamaha, has pretty much led since the gate drop. Still leading as he heads for the FMF Sky Jump. Got about a second lead thereabouts on Arrigo. Arrigo's a rider that we have seen quite a bit here, ATV racing at Muddy Creek.
Jenkins on that Suzuki running in that third spot. He's got that Flying 5 rocking the 3 machine of Miller in that 4th spot, followed by Chris Miller. Still at Springer out front, the 07 Honda rider out front in that Masters 50 plus. Chris Adams doing a great job, the 75/ in second. Sobey in third, the Flying 6 with the 22 of Dozier. On that Honda in that 4th spot, and Suzuki rider of Robert Nagy, the 43, one of my old Richard Petty numbers, running that 5th number.
We are on the white flag lap here for the Masters 50 plus. And coming up, we got that 90 shifter class, 8 to 13-year-olds.
That's a good class, and it's a fast class coming up, one of our youth classes. They average anywhere from 10 to 12, maybe a couple of 13-year-olds in there. So they're getting started pretty good, and they're working their way up. These are some of the ones coming off 50s, making their way up to the big bikes. So 90 shifter is always a good race coming up, and they're really quick. Again, white flag is out at the FMF finish line, the Parts Unlimited finish line, as they work their way through. Springer continues to lead him. He's got that Honda rocking right along, the 07 machine. And I believe that was Joe Byrd's number. Wasn't his number 7 all those years that he raced with us when he wasn't number 1?
Yeah. Yeah, look at the lap times. They're only running a couple of seconds off the pace of the Bs we just saw a little while ago. Power's running a 140.5. Arrigo, a 141.1. So these guys, he's still got it going on as the checkers just waved, and Ernie Powers picks up the win. And
the 96 rider doing a great job. Got that Blue Crew Yamaha. Jonathan Argo, 887, finishing up second, John. Both those guys, good lap times. Right, like you say, 140 is a great lap time. Jenkins on the Suzuki. Glad the Suzuki out here doing well. Finishing up third, the Flying 5 machine. Chris Miller, fourth. Fifth, Kenneth Tucker. Man, I'll tell you what, they all rode a great race. Really changing and jockeying for position. Some stayed the same and some moved on up, did a good job. Let's see if Springer can hold on to it in that 50C as he works his way towards the finish line. Little bit of difference in speed between our C class and our AB class.
Yeah, Springer made the pass. Adkins had led, or Adams, I should say, had led pretty much from the get-go, but Springer running pretty much quicker lap times than the rest of that field, a 147, everybody else above 151.
Yep, but Springer takes the win. The 07 machine on a Honda, he'll get it done as he works his way through. Comes off the track. It's going to be Chris Adams finishing up second on the Blue Crew Yamaha, the 75 machine. Third's going to Joe Viconci, the 30 machine. Another Honda rider, 22 of Doshier, would finish up fourth, followed by Robert Nagy, the 43 machine, in fifth. Coming up next is 90 shifter, race number 4. The 4 Wes Nixon, the 11 machine, Dominic Weiss, 015 of Caleb Murphy, Reed Thomason, the 23, the 24, Blake Tatum, 43 of Levi James, the 55 of Coy Jackson, 75 of Nate Joyner, Madison Shepard, the 100, the 114 of Skylar Marshall, the 146 of Wyatt Waller, the 170 of Kayla Lewis, the 269 of Mason Mosler, Braxton Holloway, the 285, the 518 of Sammy Baxter, and the 994 machine, Mason Campbell out of Colton, Georgia.
Oh, got a rider way out wide there in that off-camber right-hander. I don't think he's going to lose a spot, but he stayed on the trigger.
Look, first, second, and third still right tight as they work their way through. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and the rest of the pack. So it's Waller, Tatum, Jackson, Thomason, and Baxter. That's your top 5 as they work their way through here for lap number 1 with Shepard, Mosley, Jenkins, Dixon, and the 994 Mason Campbell rounded out your top 10.
Yeah, it's Wyatt Waller, 146, McLeansboro, Illinois. Waller Dirtworks machine. Blake Tatum aboard that 24, got out second. Hartford, Kentucky KTM machine.
Race number 5, 50 Open. You should be on the line. You're coming up next. Race number 6, Youth All-Stars. You should be in staging. First call for race number 7, Women to staging. Race number 7. Here they come down the stair steps. Still a good battle, John. The 37, man, I'll tell you, 137, the wall has got his hands full.
That he does, man. He's got a couple riders right on his heels. It's going to be Tatum and Jackson. You got the KTM and the Yamaha giving chase. And the 24 taking a dive up inside, up across the tabletop as they head toward the FMF Sky Jump. 24 is going to have that usually preferred inside line.
Side by side for the lead. The top three right there together as they make their way through. Waller, Tatum, Jackson going at it as they work their way towards the FMF Parts Unlimited finish line.
Yeah, this is going to be fun out in front, these three. They all are wanting it right now. Who's going to get it? It's just 1, 2, 3, all within a blink of an eye of each other down the back straightaway.
As they make their way over towards Rocky Top. That real good switchback right there through a few rockers. Side by side for the lead as they go dive in. I believe second. I do believe Tatum might have made the move. Waller coming right back down as they make their way down Rocky Top. They'll be making their way here towards the freeway here in just a moment. But it's too close to call. Who's going to win it? Those three right there, jockeying hard. Waller, Tatum, Jackson.
Yeah, Tatum made the pass. He beat him into the turn.
Awesome.
So it's going to be Tatum, Waller, and Jackson, and they're still just toss a blanket over them. They're that close.
Plenty of room for passing on this 1.6 mile Muddy Creek National Track. Although our leader looks like he's getting a little bit of breathing room. Not much if you consider 4 or 5 bike lengths, but that was a whole lot more than last lap.
Yeah, that's a pretty big lead in this race.
Here they come at us around the announcing tower here.
Oh, look at the 55. He squeezes inside. That's Coy Jackson trying to get underneath Waller.
Yep, you're right. Waller dived into the inside. He cut him off as he made his way over that FMF step up. As they work their way around the Muddy Creek sweeper now, headed towards the Parts Unlimited FMF finish line.
Tell you what, Coy Jackson, he is using all the track right now, trying to find a passing point to get by Waller.
White flag is out, 1 to go. Good battle for a second. They're side by side as they make their way towards Rocky Top. Great racing going on as they cut inside, outside. Rocking it through those rockers on top of Rocky Top. Then they'll take that big downhill. I believe we got a new second place rider. We'll have to see if Jackson got around Waller.
No, he got a little out of shape. I think there was a little contact right there. He was trying to make a hole where there kind of wasn't. So
right.
I think there might have been a little left rear to right front contact, and he got a little off track.
On.
Yeah,
yes,
rubbing's
sir.
racing, man.
It is that.
But Waller is right there.
Still, it's Blake Tatum. Blake's got it going on. And he's doing it on a KTM. How about that? The 24 machine. You're right. Waller holds on to second. Coy Jackson, let's see if he can make another run at him.
He has not given up. He's trying to come right back. The number 4 machine starting to creep up. That's Sammy Baxter on the 518.
Reed Thomason, one of my good friends from down in Virginia, he runs a solid third, make that 5th. And he's a good rider out on that Turner Ready Mix. MRB Concrete, Hedrick Racing Cobra. All right, John, checkered flag is out. I see it waving. It's going to be Blake Tatum taking the win. And what a good one he did. Wyatt Waller will take second. Coy Jackson third. Sammy Baxter, the 518 JBM machine, taking that 4th spot. Madison Shepard, the 100, moving into 5th. Mosley 6th. As the checkered flag is out on race number 4. Coming up next, race number 5. It's going to be another good one. This is the future stars of ATV racing. This is the 50 class where it all begins. The 2 of Owen Johnson out of Portland, Tennessee. The 07 Elijah Koloniko out of Jordan, New York. Chase Tesler out of State College, Pennsylvania, the 12C. The 111 of Deacon Hughes out of Scott Township, Pennsylvania. The 309 of Harvey Schroeder out of Tip City, Ohio. And rounding out the field on that G-Force, Schaefer Auto and Exhaust Cobra out of Newcastle, Pennsylvania, Calvin Houston, the 412 machine. Beautiful day here in Tennessee to be doing anything outside, but you can't beat watching our ATV National here at Muddy Creek Raceway in beautiful Blountville, Tennessee. Great competition. It's been a good one so far in the Fast 50s. Getting ready to go out, doing a little track prep, a little change, helping the little 50s out a little bit more. We try to give them a little bit smoother track than the big ATVs.
Track certainly holding up right now, but again, got 50s coming up. 4 to 8-year-old class. These are your veterans in this class, pretty much 8 years old. We've got one 9-year-old in that class.
Yep, this is where it begins. The 50 open, 4 to 8. Race number 5 coming up next here.
This is it, perhaps the most anticipated season opener ever in over 50 years of pro motocross.
All right, we had some great interviews around the track. Carly, man, she works with me on arena crosses and stuff around the country. She was out and about yesterday doing some great interviews. So let's see who Carly's going to talk to next.
I am here with Alex Huckabee, mechanic for many, but specifically this week, Keith Hanna, the number 61 machine. Alex, people at home want to know, as a mechanic, what does it take to get a massive race bike machine ready for a track like Muddy Creek?
Well, I'd say the first thing is you want to make sure the bike is completely gone over as far as bolts and everything, because last thing you want is mechanical failure going high speed on a track like this. But the other aspect that we look at is you want to get traction, because when a track is hard packed, then you want to try to find more traction in the rear end to get an advantage over the other competitors. So we're going to groove our tires, and that's taking slits out of the tire to where we're going to be able to have a softer compound, and then hopefully it gives us the advantage we need.
We know this track is hard packed. Is there anything differently that we do for shocks or suspension to kind of get a little bit softer?
No, you want to keep your low center of gravity, so if it does bite, you don't two-wheel. The thing that we'll do to help with that is we're going to gear the bike up, and so when you lug a motor, you actually get more traction by keeping the chassis settled more. So we're going to try that and see if he likes it in qualifier tomorrow.
All right, so in my layman's terms, because I don't know anything about these things, what would be like the most important thing to keep in mind to go over, something that we do not want to?
We're going to do a sight lap. And we're back at Muddy Creek Raceway. John Patrick here along with Ken Farrell. Getting ready for the 50 Open. That's going to be race number 5. I think we got a little sight lap going on right now as I've done a little track prep.
John, this is our pro practice. We're getting the pros out here. They're taking the first look at the track today. So this is a little short pro practice session going on right now, if I do believe, as they're working their way around.
Yep, they are. They have uncorked the bomber hill, so to speak.
You'll see them jump that thing. That thing is unbelievable. They trying to get up over it. It's about 130 feet, and it's about 6 or 8 stories high, so they get some big-time air. You really got to get some horsepower to get over it on a four-wheel for sure.
Yeah, they cut down the face of that launch a few years ago. You're not going to get quite the steep launch angle you once did, so a little bit easier, a little bit more gentle landings than it used to be. You know, we always used to say, you know, three things can happen on that hill. 2 of them are bad.
That's right.
So, but it's become a little more rider friendly in the recent years.
Yeah, but I still notice that they've got the Thor hay bale wall still up there, just in case they do kind of get out of whack. So they will not go through the fence there. It's one of the marquee jumps here. We call it the Bomber, and it's Mark Barnett, long-time two-wheel national champion, track builder and whatnot, redesigned this track, and man, it's one of the signature tracks and one of the signature jumps here at Muddy Creek Raceway. We call it the Bomber. Again, 50 Open coming up here in a minute. The 2 of Owen Johnson, the 07, Eliza Kolnico, Chase Tesler, the 12C, the 111 of Deacon Hughes, the 309 of Harvey Schroeder, and Calvin Houston out of Pennsylvania, the 412 machine. They'll be taking the track just immediately after this first pro practice of the day. They get to take a look at this beautiful 1.6 mile Muddy Creek National Track. An absolutely gorgeous day here in Tennessee. For you guys in TV land, you got to love it.
Yeah, I got some great drone views.
Yep, it's up to 60
well.
degrees here too,
Yeah.
so it is getting warm. My shorts are going to feel pretty good later on today, I believe.
Yeah, I got to see a friend of mine posted some videos of the pros practicing. He was stationed on the Bomber Hill, and those guys just, you know, they're just so good. And again, that was the first day of practice, and they just were nailing that. You didn't see anybody overshooting the turn. You didn't see anybody landing short. I mean, these guys got the measure of it pretty quickly.
Yep, we just kind of checking them out on the lines here on our TV monitors where we can watch what's going on. Speed is really, these guys are really hooking up. Joel Hedrick about 2 seconds quicker than the rest of the pack. They are running a little bit longer track than our amateurs today, as Hedrick leading the charge with a 144.918. Zach Decker 2 seconds off the leader's fastest lap time. Adam Lurk with a great 149.114. Mason Jackson 149. So the top 4 in the 140s. Right on it, Brandon Hogue, a 150.9, and that's about your top 5 as far as speeds go out on the pro show today. Tell you one thing about the pros, the key to success for the pros is getting good starts. And that's one thing you need to do. Make sure that you get a good start from the get-go. Starts are very important. And another thing, you got to get used to the change in track because it gets a blue groove. They actually put down some pretty good rubber. I know, guys, you've seen that on car race tracks and whatnot. With these motorcycles, these ATVs, they do the same thing. They put some good rubber down and create good traction. It actually does create good traction. Of course, wherever you want to do, you got there's plenty of room for passing on this track for sure. So lane decisions, sometimes you just got to think about what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. Sometimes a rider will wait to pull the trigger all at the last second. He'll do something or do a particular jump that nobody else is doing. So it's really important to figure out what you're going to do and when you're going to pull that trigger if you're trying to make a move. Consistency is key. You need to be faster if you can, the first lap and the last lap. Some riders do and some do not. Some are. But these pros, I'll tell you what, they won't get slow every lap. They'll get faster. But we got a good track today, and still it's Brandon Hogue has set the fastest lap time of this practice session, where it's an all-blue practice, all-blue ATVs except for one Suzuki, with Marshall Smith on that Suzuki. But right now it's Brandon Hogue, fastest lap time. Joel Hedrick, second. Mason Jackson, third. They're all in the 140s. Of course, Hedrick has backed off some. He kind of came out hot, saw what he wanted to see, got the feel for the track. They had a little bit of track time yesterday on press day, but this is their first look this morning at this 1.6 mile. So Hedrick wicks it back up again. He'll take the lead as far as lap times of 1:44.668. Hogue right in there, though. He's hanging in there. Mason Jackson, Zach Decker, Noah Arnold, that's your top five fastest lap times. All those guys in the 140s.
You're talking about that blue groove. They've changed the bomber, the runoff. I mean, it used to be that hard right-hand turn coming on the downhill right there, and there was a big blue groove right there as those guys were, power sliding into that right-hander. It got kind of developed a bottleneck, so now you got that longer runoff. You got more passing points, again, coming off that hill before you make that kind of 180 turn back up to the finish line. So that is really a huge improvement, I think, over what we used to see.
I agree with you 100%. And as we do with all the tracks that we go all the way around the country, there's always changes. We do changes here and there, and that was one of the great changes. And up on Rocky Top, they changed the configuration of that as well. So it's change is good, keeps people on their toes, and the people that race with us here multiple times a year, they like that change.
All right, let's go have a conversation, occurrence point leader. And here's an interview with Joel Hedrick.
We are here with the number one of Joel Hedrick. Joel, you won last time we were at Muddy Creek. Do you feel like you're going to have a repeat situation of that this weekend?
I certainly hope so. Track was good for media day for us, a little dry, but it brings back those TT memories for me, and them dry slick tracks I feel like I'm really good at. So we've been cutting up the tires a little bit, getting ready for tomorrow, and hopefully have a good showing.
I was going to ask you, any extra prep with, this is such a different track than we're kind of used to, but typical for Muddy Creek. Any other changes that we can know about?
Like I said, we're just going to cut the tires up and try to get as much traction as we can. And other than that, I'm going to walk the track here shortly and find some good lines and just try to be the best guy on the track tomorrow.
We expect nothing less. We'll see you out on the track. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we're back to practice here. Hedrick showing you why he's one of maybe, if not, the fastest ATV rider on the planet. He's got that Phoenix Blue Crew Yamaha rocking today. As our pros continue to run their morning practice this morning. They'll be coming out at 1:30. That will be the time that we crank up the pro show, our first pro moto of the day. So that is always good, and we'll have some open ceremonies for that, pretty much so as we did with the amateur program earlier this morning. Again, we'd like to welcome everybody to Muddy Creek Raceway, the 2026 AMA Joe Byrd Memorial ATVMX National Championship. It's the pro show out on the track right now as they're getting everything tuned in, checking it out. The mechanics, they're pulling in and checking out a few things, trying to make analysis what they need to do and how they need to do it before the main event, Moto number 1, comes up here at 1:30 today, here at Muddy Creek Raceway. I'm here with John Patrick, the voice of Tennessee Motocross. John, we've got another big event coming up here in 2 weeks, the Loretta Lynn National Championship presented by Monster, the regional. That'll be the big bikes. That's going to be a lot of fun also.
Absolutely is. I mean, this is kind of the last step before, moving on to the national coming up this summer. So we're going to see, some of the very best, certainly from the eastern part of the U.S. And there's going to be, we see people, traveling from many miles away. We've seen international riders here, obviously, coming in for that regional that weekend. So that is going to be an incredible weekend without a doubt.
No doubt about it. And I'll tell you, people come from everywhere to run this Muddy Creek Raceway track, whether it's four-wheelers like this weekend or whether it's nationals. Muddy Creek has done it all. We're very proud to be able to be here and announce here this weekend at this phenomenal track as they celebrate 40 years, and all 38 of them, you've been here. I might have been here for a bunch of times, but as I race, I used to be a racer of two wheels. So it's a awesome place to be right here at Muddy Creek Raceway.
And of course, I want to thank our broadcast sponsors for making it all possible. Of course, Victory Sports, 40th anniversary is, as Ken just said. Apex Motorsports providing the views this weekend. Rip It Up Films, sponsor of some of these great drone shots we're getting. Booney's Restaurant out on Boone Lake. Great food, beautiful environment out there. SRS Suspension, also Vampire Tear-Offs, all bringing you the racing action today at Muddy Creek.
Yeah, I tell you what, sponsors is word out, and we need sponsors to keep things going. It helps the sport, and we have great sponsors in this ATV program and here locally here at Muddy Creek Raceway. It is a wonderful place here in Tennessee. It's one of my favorite states as I travel 46 weekends somewhere in the United States announcing, but it sure is fun to come to Tennessee. If I was, and I love Virginia, I love my home in Danville, Virginia, but I'll tell you, Tennessee is one of my favorite places to come. Everything is so nice, and people of Tennessee are nice people, and I love to come up here and talk football and basketball with you guys.
Well, maybe not talking so much football this past year, but it's been quite a year, certainly in basketball, and got a big win last night in baseball over Texas. So,
oh man,
yeah.
That was a big win.
Yeah, the starting pitcher, Tegan Coons, 15 strikeouts in 7 innings. Left with a shutout. They gave up a run. Tennessee won 5-1 over the fourth-ranked team in college baseball, so they needed that one.
I'll tell you what, yes, I travel all around the country. Texas is football country, but Tennessee is all sports country. If it's baseball, if it's football, if it's basketball, it's all good. Here in Tennessee, man, I'll tell you what, it's just a wonderful place to come visit. You have so much to see, the drive up and down, even the interstates. It's just, you marvel at all the beautiful country here in Tennessee.
Well, the thing we always hear, especially from some of the younger riders when they come down for like the ATV nationals, especially the ones from the flatlands, the the riders from Indiana or Iowa or whatever, they just marvel at the elevation changes and whatnot. They just love it, you know. You don't have to create too many obstacles. I mean, they're already built into the topography here.
Well, this track is got a nice oval. You got two sides, and you also come across it, but you've got very good elevation changes, and it's no rider, whether it's two-wheel or four-wheel, elevation change really makes it interesting for a rider, and it's very friendly to spectators. One thing about Muddy Creek, either side of this mountain that you're on, whatever side you're on, it's a clear view. The track's right here in front of you. You can see from the start to the finish the racing here at Muddy Creek Raceway.
Yeah, there's not many blind spots out here at all. You definitely can see the whole thing in this bowl.
And I'll tell you one thing, the Apex Motoworks has got it going on that drone today. That is some action-packed, man, that is just awesome. And our drone pilot, boy, he is something else. He's right there in the middle of the action.
Got some impressive flying skills right there.
Boy, I'd have done hit every tree and hit everything out here if it was me. But it's always had to have this dimension. As the checkered flag has come out, we're getting ready to go 50 racing. Race number 5 coming up next. The pros show making their way out for their first practice of the day as they work their way around. It's going to be Joel Hedrick with a 142.565, 2 seconds faster than Brandon Hogue with a 144.246. The 146 of Mason Jackson in third fastest. Zach Decker fourth. He's not far off. All these guys are close. When the gate drops, they'll be all over each other from the start.
Once again, got the 50s in the gate, 50 open, and Youth All-Star class. That's going to be race number 6. Those riders are in staging as we speak.
Yeah, but we need race number 7, women 15 plus. You need to be making your way to staging. Race 6 and 7. You need to be there, guys, so we can load you on the gate as soon as this 50 open 4-8 of Johnson, Colenco, Tesler, Hughes, Schroeder, and Calvin Houston out of Newcastle, Pennsylvania, getting ready to take on this great-looking track here at Muddy Creek Raceway. Again, all you spectators and everybody out in the pits, 105.9 on your FM. Pick up all the race action announcements right here at the Muddy Creek Complex as open 50 open getting ready to make their way out on the track here momentarily. Good time to get food. Look, you ought to come into the pits here just to eat this good food we got with the kicking chicken. Man, they got it going on, and it is great. And you just can't beat all the great food we have here, and that means a lot to a lot of our people that come in, camp here, and stay here to have good food on. We got the best of the best barbecue, kicking chicken, and of course great lemonade.
Yeah, Juicy Butts, they've got like pulled pork, pulled chicken. You can get platters or sandwiches. You can get brisket, platters or sandwiches, and just tons of sides as well. So really good stuff.
Leave the cooking up to them when you come to Muddy Creek Raceway. We'll get you fixed up as the 50 open are off and running. As these are your future stars, the beginners. This is where it all starts.
And looks like it is going to be the 111 machine, Deacon Hughes, Scott Township, Pennsylvania, who's going to get the whole shot in the early race lead here. Again, the 4 to 8-year-old class.
Again, race number 6, Youth All-Stars, you should be on the line. Race 7, women, you should be in staging. First call for race number 8, college to staging. So, folks, what happens, we've got 3 classes that we run multiple times today. Everybody, all the other amateurs run 1 moto today and 1 tomorrow. The women's pro class coming up on race number 14. Their first moto is coming up here shortly, the 250 mod. Rather, the pro sport, there will be a second one that run 2 motos today. And, of course, our pros, they'll crank up at 1:30 today, their first moto. And they run at 1:30 and 4 today.
So, as we said, Deacon Hughes got the whole shot. Second, third, and fourth place right now, a battle. You got the 07 Elias Kalanko, Jordan, New York. Calvin Johnson aboard the 412, Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Owen Johnson on the number 2, Portland, Tennessee. And then Chase Tressler, but Deacon Hughes, he is trying to put this one away as early as he can.
Yep, he's got about a 3-second lead over the 07 machine as they work their way around. But these, all of them are running really good. These young riders, just 8 years old, and they are getting it done and getting it done right. Very smooth. Our leader making his way down the freeway. Deacon Hughes continues to run out front, the 111 machine.
Still got that battle going on. Kalanko and Houston for second and third. Owen Johnson trying to keep pace on that 412 machine. Actually, that's Houston. Johnson is moved up into that third spot, I believe.
Yep, I hear the buzz of the 50s as they make their way around. These 50s are 50cc machines working away. But don't be fooled. These things are quick. They'll roll. They're running 30, 40 miles an hour down some of these straightaways.
Get the readout on their first lap this time by a 2:02 first lap for Deacon Hughes.
Hughes out front. Johnson second. The 07. Kalanko in third. Calvin Houston, the 412 machine, in that 4th spot, followed by the 309 of Schroeder. Tesla in 6th, the 12C machine. But all I'm doing a great job as they make their way around this track.
Yeah, Owen Johnson, Portland, Tennessee, the number 2. He is a guy who's been on the move. He went from 4th to 3rd, now to 2nd place. But he's got a bit of a gap to make up. About 7 seconds, that gap from Hughes, the leader, back to Owen Johnson.
Again, race number 6 coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, Youth All-Stars. Now, this is a good, interesting class, 14 to 17 years old. They are very, very quick guys, and we have a good lineup of them, 12 strong, as they're getting ready to take on this Muddy Creek National Track. Defiance is a lifestyle, and they're up there in the pits. They've got those event T-shirts this weekend. If you've never seen their artwork and all the great stuff, man, they've done a fabulous job on this Joe Byrd Memorial ATV National Weekend. They have T-shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of great stuff. And don't forget to check out my friend right up there. And Rob is doing a great job, and they do I was with them in West Virginia last weekend, and we're right back here together this weekend in Tennessee for this national here this weekend. So we're glad to have them on board. Volt Ride Lab right across the street from them, one-of-a-kind products that you won't see anywhere else. And we have all kinds of great vendors up and down the vendors road, so make sure you go by and check them out. Fast 50s continue to make their way around. White flag is out. 1 to go for our leader. Johnson trying to catch him. Kalanko trying to catch first and second as they work their way around. Houston in that 4th spot, the 412 machine. So he's got a good one going on. Schroeder in 5th, the 309. The 12C rider of Chase Tressler, doing a good job as he makes his way around out of State College, Pennsylvania.
Youth All-Stars got their gate positions ready to go. That's going to be race number 6. Of course, the women coming up in race number 7.
Yep, that's going to be good. It's all good. Every class. We're in the national, so everybody here is fast. Whatever age, whatever class it is, we always look for some great racing in all of these classes. As the white flag is out, 1 to go in this 50 open 4 to 8. Still it's Deacon Hughes, the 111 machine out of Scotts Township, Pennsylvania on the JC Racing VPE Twin Air Flow Vision Custom Concrete machine out front as he leads them all as they work their way towards the finish line. Here on this white flag lap, meaning the final lap of this moto.
Yeah, Hughes kind of removed all doubt early in this one as he's got about a 10-second gap now on Johnson in second. And a couple of turns left to go back to picking up the moto win.
Track crew doing a little bit of track prep as our 50s run a little bit different track than the rest. And there it is. Checkered flag is out, John. Deacon Hughes, he'll take the win and going wire to wire. The 111 machine going and getting it done out of Pennsylvania. Owen Johnson's will finish up second. The Flying 2 machine out of Portland, Tennessee. It's going to be the 07, Elijah Kuliko, taking third as he does a great job out of Jordan, New York. Calvin Houston finished up fourth, the 412 machine out of Newcastle, Pennsylvania on the G-Force. Schaefer's Auto and Exhaust Cobra. Fifth's going to Harvey Schoten, the 309 machine, and sixth will go to Chase Tressler. Chase putting in a good ride here out of State College, Pennsylvania.
Youth All-Stars coming up next. You got the 4 KTM of Colin Michael, Butler, Pennsylvania. The 6 KTM, Dylan Albert, Goodrich, Michigan. On the number 12 Yamaha, it's going to be Styles West, Owensboro, Kentucky. The 24 Honda, Aiden Case, Columbia Station, Ohio. 25 Honda, Weston Howard, Calhoun, Kentucky. 47 Reese Vitt, McDonald, PA. He's on a Honda. 72 Honda of Drew Wolford, Newark, Ohio. 99 Austin Cox, Hannibal, Missouri. Another Honda rider. 121 Yamaha, Jackson Hancock, Avon Park, Florida. 378 KTM, Logan Fry, Benton, Illinois. 454 Honda, Jonah Chappell from Camden, Tennessee. 620 Honda, Trevor Hughes of Scott Township, Pennsylvania.
And it's Styles West with a whole shot out of Kentucky. The Blue Crew rider on the E-Racing TDR Blue Crew Yamaha as he makes his way here for lap number 1. Let's see what it's going to be like. He's already up to about a 6 bike length lead.
Wolford pulling off the pass in the tower turn right here. One of those good passing points. Second place went wide. He went low, takes the spot away. Then it's going to be Jackson, or I should say Drew Wolford out of Newark, Ohio on the number 72 Honda.
Man, oh man, look at here as they make the way up and over the Parts Unlimited FMF finish line, headed towards Rocky Top. First and second starting to pull away, but third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and the rest of the pack really rocking it as they work their way through in this Youth All-Stars race number 6. Again, race number 7, you should be on the line, women. Race number 8, college to staging. Race number 9, first call to junior plus 25. How about a vet class called junior? How about that? Plus 25, you need to report to staging. Race number 9. As they work their way over towards Rocky Top, they'll be making their way behind the SRS launching pad, headed up towards turn 1, the Thor turn 1, headed towards the freeway. Here they come.
Tell you what, the top two kind of breaking away a little bit, but everywhere else you look, man, there's a battle going on.
Great battles going on at that as they work their way through. First and second, about the same as they were on the opening lap. So maybe our second place rider of Wolford is trying to figure out something a little bit. He actually looks like he might be making up a little bit of time on him. John, I'm not sure though. Third and fourth also having a good battle going on. Fifth, here comes 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th as these guys are side by side jockeying for position here on race number 6. Youth All-Stars is on the track.
Yeah, you kind of got little skirmishes going on everywhere. Got about a 1.5 second lead for Styles West, and then there's about a similar gap from Wolford back to third place. But then you got a bigger gap, and then From there, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just nose to tail coming across the finish line.
Styles West of the Kentuckian is here getting it done in this Youth All-Star. He's got that E-Racing TDR, a Blue Crew Yamaha, rocking our world right now as he works his way around in this Youth All-Star, 14 to 17 as they work their way. Crew throwing a little water down here and there on a couple of spots that are not being used right now. Got a pretty good little cloud cover coming over now, but they're not calling for any showers here in Tennessee today. But the actual, when you get a little cloud cover on a motocross track, it doesn't hurt a bit. One of the worst things for a motocross track is wind and sun. It bakes it out pretty quick.
Styles West, every time around, he's coming across that natural and taking a glance over his shoulder, and not a lot of pressure on him right now. So
West has got it going on. Wolford holding on to second. It's about the same distance between the two as they were last lap. They'll be working their way towards the FMF Parts and Limited finish line. And up and over he goes, the flying 12. He might be picking up a little bit, about a 2.5 second lead over Wolford. Michael runs in third, the flying 4. 620 of Hughes in that 4th spot. See, I believe it's going to be Hancock moving into 5th, so he makes a move to the front. The 121 machine out of Avon Park, Florida on that Pierce Performance Yamaha. So he's making his way up through the pack. Good racing all the way around the track on this 1.6 mile Muddy Creek National Track. We got the women, amateur women coming up next. That's going to be another good one. We got about 12 of the fastest young lady, amateur ladies getting ready to duke it out. We'll have the pro women coming up here. Oh, in about 5 or 6 motos, the WMX, it'll be 14 strong. The fastest ladies on the planet. That'd be something to look forward to.
Yeah, again, what was kind of a bunch of little battles going on. Things are kind of settled down as the field getting strung out here late.
Yeah, they were pushing hard.
Yeah, you see about 2 second gap, 2 second gap, 2 second gap, 6 second gap.
Here we got a threesome coming down the freeway right now. They've got a pretty good battle going on position. That's probably 7th, 8th, 9th, something like that. So they're having a good time.
Yeah, that's the 47 machine. Reese Vitt, I think Austin Cox, and maybe Case back there battling for that spot as the white flag is out this time by for Styles West.
White flag is out. Styles West continues to lead the 12 machine. Out of Owensboro, Kentucky. He's got that E-Racing TDR machine rocking our world right now as he works his way through. Wolford holding on to second. Michael third. Hughes fourth. Hancock fifth. As the top five's rocking it as it come through. I hear him coming around turn 1, headed up to Thor turn 1. Here they come down the freeway. Still, it's the number 12 machine. Continuing to lead, Styles West. The Blue Crew rider getting it done.
Yep, E-Racing TDR is sponsors out of Owensboro, Kentucky. I think that gap's probably contracted a little bit. Just about 3.1 seconds between himself and Drew Wolford on that 72 Honda.
White flag is out, 1 to go, so we're going to get ready to see our winner making his way over there. There it is, checkered flag is out for Styles West, the Flying 12 machine out of Owensboro, Kentucky on the E-Racing TDR machine. It's going to be Drew Wolford, the 72, finishing up second. The 4 of Colin Michael finish up third on the KTM.
Well, the start was one of your keys, obviously, to to the racing, and it doesn't just apply to the pro class. I mean, that's everybody, you know, from the pros to the, you know, 4 to 8 years old. That really is probably the most important factor in this this kind of racing.
My years of racing, I always enjoyed the start the best. That was the most fun for me. But I'll tell you one thing, it's crucial to get a good start, certainly in the top 5 in a big class, in order if you want to run for the roses and take the win. Coming up next, it's going to be women 15 plus. It's the 10 of Abby Outley out of Florida, Olivia Joyner, the 17 out of Ontario, Huntsville, Ontario. 22 is Sophie Mulford out of Massachusetts. Gracie Lundra, 35G out of Missouri. Lillian Plaza, the 41 machine out of Illinois. India Jacques out of Quebec, Canada. Micaiah Newell out of Doswell, Virginia, the 99. The 110 of Skylar Frawley. The 131 of Allison Coolwick. The 212 of Gracie Howard out of Kentucky. The 415 of Hannah Michael out of Pennsylvania. And Ava Lemaire out of Connecticut, the 722.
Looks like the 41's going to go to the front. Lillian Plaza, Union, Illinois, made the pass. Again, leader went high, Plaza went low, Plaza went to the front.
Race number 8, you should be on the line, College, as they coming up next. Race number, make that 9, 8. 9 is Junior plus 25. You guys need to be in staging. First call for race number 10, 70 Auto, 6 to 11. You guys need to be making your way to staging. First call.
So it's going to be Lillian Plaza out in front. Allison Klutwick just under 2 seconds back on the 131 machine. India Jacques on the 64 Yamaha. Gracie Lundry in that 4th spot here early. Olivia Joyner on the 17 Honda running in the 5th spot.
We got a couple of Canadians riding with us in this class this weekend. Glad to have our friends down from Canada here to Tennessee. And they are in the middle of a pretty good dogfight here as the women of motocross make their way around. The amateur women, like I said, the pro women will be coming up here shortly. But these girls are really doing a fine job as they make their way around. And again, Plaza, she is maybe the one to beat on that Honda. She works her way down the freeway. She's got about a 3-second lead, I believe now, over Coolwick. Jacques doing, I think Jacques, a 64 machine. She's one of our Canadian friends. She's out of Quebec. So glad to have our Canadian friends with us as we've got the international deal going on here at Muddy Creek this weekend.
Yeah, so we got Huntsville, Ontario represented. Guadeloupe, Quebec City, Canada. So
the only French I know is bonjour, and I saw that in a movie one time. But we're glad to have our Canadians here. But boy, I'll tell you what, Lillian Plaza, she looks like she's got everything under control. 2nd and 3rd, Coolwick and Jacques going at it. Our Canadian, she wants second bad as they work their way towards Rocky Top. Still Lundra holds on to that 4th spot. Olivia Joyner 5th as they work their way around here. Race number 7 here at Muddy Creek Raceway. Well, let's go. We're halfway through. Let's go to interview. We had an interview. I think they got Joyner. Olivia Joyner had an interview out of Canada yesterday. Let's go to that interview.
X on your back. A lot of people are looking for you to win this race. How does that make you feel, and do you feel like you're going to live up to it this weekend?
I hope I can. The practice today didn't go as well as I wanted to with some bike issues, and with last weekend having 2 mechanical failures, I'm really hoping just to have like a good weekend and finish good.
What would be a good finish for you? Is it getting a hole shot? Is it a certain place? Or what would make you feel like it was a good win?
Definitely a hole shot is something that everybody looks forward to, but probably a top 3 in WMX would be like a great, like, feel good, like, going into next weekend.
Any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
A lot back at home, especially my mom and dad. They do a lot for me, but Muskoka Power Sports, RP Race, Hall Race Fuel, Works, Factory 43, JB Racing. They do a lot for us. They let us stay at their house between races, so it's very helpful for cutting down our drive time. And just anybody else I forgot.
Awesome. Good looking for you to have a good weekend. Good luck.
Plaza continues to lead as the white flag is out. Kulik in second, Jacques in third, Laundry fourth, Join in fifth as they work their way around. Man, it's really rocking it. But Lillian Plaza, the 41 Honda rider, it looks like it's going to be the one to beat here in this race number 7 here at Muddy Creek Raceway. Race number 8 getting ready to launch off the launching pad. College coming up next. Junior plus 25. Race number 9, you should be in staging. Race number 10, 30 auto. 6 to 11, we need you in staging. First call. White flag is out as they work their way over Rocky Top. Here they come down the freeway for the final time. Lillian Plaza looks like she's got everything under control. Up and over she goes. Of course, anything can happen in the world of motocross and ATVs. It can be a broken chain. It could be anything. Could be an engine failure. You never know till the checkered flag is out, until you cross that checkered flag. I've seen championships won and lost exactly by that. As they work their way around the sweeper. Still, it's Lillian Plaza, Kulik in second, Jacques in third. Our Canadian friend hanging in there.
Yeah, we got riders from 15 to 25 right here. It is the 16-year-old, however, Lillian Plaza, Union, Illinois.
And she'll take the win as the checkered flag is out. Kulik held on to second, but I tell you, Jacques was right there on her.
Yeah, Plaza made that pass first lap. She was going to waste no time getting to the front. Made that little dive underneath for the pass right here in the tower turn on that very first pass.
Yeah, she rocked it, and she got out front, and she checked on out. But not a big check out. They were inside of her there. She didn't completely walk out. It's going to be Olivia Joyner taking that 4th spot on the Honda, and Gracie Lundra taking 5th, the 35G on the Blue Crew Yamaha. Coming up next is college. It's Jet Presby out of New Hampshire, the 14 of Maverick Simpson out of Indiana, 16 of Jaden Shifter out of Pennsylvania, Dominic Chuaka out of Pennsylvania, Cohen Lee out of Maine, 24 of Tyler Pagel out of Florida, the 31 machine of Brock Alexander out of Indiana, 69X of Philip Lurie out of Massachusetts, 87 Carson Beckman out of Indiana, Andrew Kulik, the 141 machine out of Indiana, the 212 machine of Jesse Baber out of another Indiana, 219 of Blake Lemire out of Connecticut, the 714 of Casey Fancher out of Michigan, one to watch, and the 929 of Keaton Thomas out of Quincy, Illinois on a Honda.
Yeah, and do we have a pack battling at the front? But it's going to be a whole shot for the number 31 machine, Brock Alexander, Crown Point, Indiana.
Man, look at this, John, as they work their way over. The pack's right there together. Still, it's anybody's race here on lap number 1. 3 and 4 wide as they make their way around the Muddy Creek sweeper, headed towards the FMF Parts Unlimited finish line.
Yeah, there's top 7, man. They are just nose to tail. But it's going to be Brock Alexander who's going to lead on that first pass. Andrew Klutwick, man, the Klutwick family certainly well represented here this weekend.
Absolutely.
Michigan City, Indiana. Carson Beckman third. It's going to be Casey Fancher has a win already on the day. In the 4th spot, Jaden Schiffer right now sitting in that 5th position. I think we're going to see pretty much, I think the only change is going to be constant change in this one, though.
Yep, it's tight. They're working their way over Rocky Top right now. as they'll be making their way around turn 1 to Thor turn 1. Headed towards the freeway, and here they come. I hear them rocking along. College is a great class, 16 to 24-year-olds. Where anywhere, as I look down we've got mostly 16 and 70-year-olds, a couple of 20-year-olds. But these are teenagers. These guys have been racing. They've got plenty of experience. There's still Alexander, John, that continues to rock along on that KTM.
Fancher sitting in that third spot. He's picked up one spot. He got by Beckman and trying to close up ground, and he's doing it pretty quickly on Andrew Klutwick. I said Fancher's already seen the checkered flag once today.
Yep, he's already won a class. You're right.
I think he won maybe the first race of the day.
I believe you're right. I believe he was C-class. College Boy is all about you can be in multiple classes. It's a class that is based on age, and it's an amateur class, of course.
Well, Klutwick just about 1.3 back from Alexander, but then you got tenths back from there. 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 5 tenths, 3 or 8 tenths. So everybody bunched up there from about third or fourth back.
Yeah, they're jockeying hard for position. There's no doubt about that as they work their way around. Alexander trying to get a little bit of distance between he and Klutwick, but Klutwick trying his best to find a little something extra that our leader doesn't have to try to make it up, see if he can catch him. And he might be. I'll tell you, the top 4 is just right there together, John. Still, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's about to become a pretty good battle there for second, third, fourth place. You got Fancher in third, but look at the 16, Jaden Schiffer on the Yamaha out of Elizabethville, Pennsylvania. Closing up on the 714 of Fancher, the Bellevue, Michigan rider.
Tell you what, fifth, 6th, 7th, and 8th, they've got a heck of a battle going on too as they work their way around the far side of the track through that sweeper. As the white flag comes out for Alexander, he better stay on point because he's got 3 right on his rear bumper making their way up and over as they work their way towards Rocky Top. White flag is out, 1 to go.
Yeah, Fancher caught up to Klutwick pretty quickly, but he's not been able to get any further. I think Klutwick saw or heard the pressure coming, and he cranked it up as well. And now you see Schiffer aboard the number 16 machine. He's joined the party. Fancher right on and dives up underneath Klutwick down through that mechanics area right behind the starting gate, and he has got the spot.
Well, it's Alexander continuing to run out front while they battling hard behind him. I don't know. Have they got enough time to catch him? They don't have about a third of the track to go. Fancher making his way up through the pack. Boy, if he had another lap, John, he might give him a fit, and he might give him a fit yet as they make their way around that Muddy Creek sweeper. Few turns to go before they take on that checkered flag at the FMF Parts Unlimited finish line. Here they come, and he's going to do it. Brock Alexander holding on. He'll take the win. Casey Fancher taking second, getting around Klutwick. Man, what a great ride. Jaden Schiffler, we've been talking to him. He's had some good motos. Schiffer's quick. Blake Lemire, the 219 on the Suzuki, rounding out your top 5. Coming up next, it's Junior Plus 25. Micaiah Staten out of Bakersfield, North Carolina. Tyler Kelly out of Tennessee, the 13, the 38. Justin Canterbury out of Wendell, North Carolina. 47 of Clay Russell out of Walker, Michigan. The 83 of Dylan Jefferson Out of Pearl River, Louisiana, the 94, Michael Perkins. Out of Ohio, Mario Gonzalez. Out of Florida, 254 of Austin Daly. Out of New York, 306 of Dalton Thomas. Out of Quincy, Illinois. And out of Fawn Grove, Pennsylvania, on the Blue Crew Yamaha, the 897 of Brandon Crow.
Oh, got a little tangle in that first turn. We had 3 wide in that first turn, and that was kind of a recipe for disaster. I think it was kind of the group behind that got tangled up. We got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 riders.
Well, top 3 is right there together as they make their way around.
Still trying to get those pulled apart.
Sometimes those things get hung up, and it's just tough getting them, all the various parts and wheels. Here comes your leaders as they make their way through. Still, it's a tight battle for the lead. Top 3 as they make their way up and over the FMF Parts Unlimited finish line. Dalton Thomas out front, the 306 Honda rider. Michael Perkins, the 94, holds on to second to Flying 5, Michaela Staten. On a Suzuki, the Flying 5 in third, the 144, Mario Gonzalez. In that fourth on the Blue Crew Yamaha, Chandler Brickley, the 14 machine. In fifth as they work their way around. Race number 10, you should be on the line, size 70, automatic, all 16, almost a full gate. Super Mini, you need to be in stage at race number 11 at first call for our veteran 30 AB 30C. Race number 12 to stage in first call.
Yeah, the number 5, Malachi Staten. We've seen him a lot here at Muddy Creek from nearby Bakersville, North Carolina, currently running in that third spot. Tell you what, it took a while to get everybody untangled. That definitely is going to be a game changer here in this one.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's hard enough to untangle 2 wheels, but when you get 4 wheels tangled up, you almost need a crane to get them untangled. It's tough. It can be tough. They can be wedged in there like glue. Still, Thomas continues to lead. Perkins in second. Staten in third. Staten trying to hold on to it. Let's see as they work their way up and over through the sweeping turn. First and second, still pretty tight. And this junior plus 25. Dalton Thomas, though, holding on to it. Perkins not far behind. Gonzalez now moving up to third, gets around Staten. The Flying 5 Suzuki.
Yeah, just a bit over a second gap between Thomas and Perkins, but as you said, Mario Gonzalez, you got to keep an eye on here on that 144.
Yes, sir. You always got to keep your eye out on those Floridians. I'll tell you one thing. I was in West Virginia doing an event last weekend, and I believe it was more people from Florida there than anywhere else. And when you're in West Virginia from Florida, that's a hard haul. That's a far piece. Some of them were from the Keys, Miami, and everywhere. Whew.
Well, they do have, pretty much riding weather year-round, so
you're right.
They're able to develop pretty much 12 months out of the year outdoors. Of course, we have to go indoors, for our winter indoor series here. But, Florida produces its share and then some of great riders, 2-wheel and 4-wheel.
Absolutely. Still, it's Dalton Thomas continues to lead Perkins and Gonzalez as they work their way around in this junior plus 25. Thomas and Perkins still leading the charge. A couple of Hondas getting it done. Gonzalez, the 144 on the Blue Crew Yamaha, holding on to that third spot. Brickley in that 4th spot. Kelly 5th as they work their way around here. Race number 9, Junior Plus 25. The beginning of our vet classes. 105.9 on your FM. Pick up all the race action right here at the track. 105 FM. The Motor Sound Network coming to you live here from beautiful Blountville, Tennessee, here at Muddy Creek Raceway on this Joe Byrd Memorial ATV National Weekend.
Another good youth class coming up next. 16 riders in that 70 automatic 6 to 11 class.
Oh, we got a new broadcast, Digging Deep ATVMX podcast. That's going to be going on. Yep, man, well, that's good. It's always good to have our folks that support our ATVs, and we're glad to have you on board here this weekend. Thomas out front as the white flag is out. Perkins runs in second. Let's see where Gonzalez, he's not that far behind. As he runs in third, let's see if he can catch up to him. A couple of Hondas continue to lead it all. Gonzalez, the 144 machine on the Blue Crew Yamaha, runs in third. As the white flag is out on the Junior Plus 25 race number 9.
Well, the start was certainly crucial in this one. Pretty much everybody but that very top group got all balled up there in that first turn as the white flag continues to fly across the way as the leaders now working their way down the staircase.
Still pretty tight, John.
Yeah,
pretty
very tight. You got tenths of a second. First to second, second to third. Thomas, Perkins, Gonzalez.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Actually, yeah, you got Perkins out in front on the 94 machine.
Okay. So did he pull the trigger and pass him? Well, we didn't see him out there. We'll have to see as they make their way across the finish on this white flag lap. The two Honda riders, they were going at it for sure. Wasn't but about a second between the two. Did he pull the trigger? Did Perkins make the move on Thomas? As the checkered flag is out, Michael Perkins takes the win, gets around Thomas. Thomas will move back to second. It's going to be Gonzalez, Mario Floridian out of Florida, finishing up third. Boy, I know he likes these elevation changes compared to down in Florida. The only track in Florida I know that's got any good elevation change is, well, a couple of them. Gainesville does. But my buddy at WW Ranch down there always has, he's got an anthill that's 10 stories high right there in the middle of the track. So they have to create their hills and valleys there in Florida. Checkered flag is going to be Kelly finishing up fourth, I do believe. Canterbury fifth. Now we have got a real good one coming up next. 70 Auto. These are young riders anywhere from 10, 9, 10 years old. But these things are fast in these 70 Autos. It's Weston Nixon, the 4 machine. The 07, Elijah Kolenko. Tucker Burke, the 7 machine. The 015 of Caleb Murphy. The 016 of Kristen Murphy. Bradley Schoaf, the 17 machine. 22T of Colby Tressler. 26 of Jackson Schiffer. Boy, that Schiffer family's got some good riders here this weekend. The 39, Dean Schroeder, Max Turner. The 111X, the 111 of Hudson Nielsen. Deacon Hughes, the 111 Slash. 3 111s. We hope we can keep up with that. Gavin Bauer, the 118 machine. The 404, Axel Morocco. Adelaine Miracle, the 808, and the 904 machine out of Stone Ridge, New York. Presley Podusnik as 70 Auto, race number 10. Getting ready to launch off the launching pad here at Muddy Creek Raceway.
Yeah, we see Deacon Hughes in this one. Also winner already this morning. So riders from all over good part of this field from the northeast.
I agree with that. You know, it's a whole lot of Pennsylvania riders in a lot of the classes. Pennsylvania's a stronghold. Brother Cernix and all that crew up there, they do a great job. And just a lot of great riders in that northeast area from Pennsylvania, Ohio, and up in that area.
One rider being pushed back from the gate. Some issues on the line, so we've got one DNS here.
Here we go. I hear them singing, and they are absolutely ripping. Here they come down the Thor Freeway here for lap number 1. Race number 11, you should be in staging. Super Mini, they're getting ready to load you. Race 12 and 13. You need to be in staging. We're not far from the women pros, the WMX, coming up here shortly.
Think that is Hughes once again. We got 3 111s out there. We got 1 slashed, 1 X. We'll let the timing and scoring sort that out here very shortly.
Absolutely, as they work their way around the Muddy Creek sweeper on the far side of the track. They'll be approaching the Parts Unlimited FMF finish line here momentarily.
Second place, getting real impatient.
Yep.
And runs out of patience. He is going to go to the front. That's Weston Nixon aboard the number 4. Kind of being held up a little bit, but not any longer. Found that passing point and got by Hughes. Axon Morcal on the 404, followed by Gavin Bowser. Colby Tressler in the 5th spot.
Yep, it's a bunch of fast riders, and it's still pretty tight up front. Let's see if Nixon can ease away from the rest of the pack. Looked like he wanted to pull the trigger pretty quick to get to the lead. That's always a good thing to do. Ride hard for those first couple of 3 laps to make sure you could get your position. So we'll have to see. Nixon. Rocking our world as he works his way on the back side of the track.
Yep, down the staircase, and you got Morcal working on Hughes now for second. Gap's opened back up a little bit. Morcal was right there. Took a shot. Oh, and off track. Can he get it tucked back in? Because here comes 4th, 5th, and 6th.
You know, it's a funny thing about this class. It's either on and off. You don't hear anything else. They either wide open or you don't hear anything out of these motors. But most of the time, you're wide open as they work their way around the Muddy Creek sweeper here, headed towards the Parts Unlimited FMF finish line. Weston Nixon continues to lead. And he's got about a 2-second lead, maybe a little bit more than that, over Deacon Hughes as they work their way. He's starting to really ramp it up. Hughes maybe getting a little bit of distance between he and Bauer. Markle holding on to that 4th spot. Tressler in 5th.
Yeah, look at the lap times. Nixon a 149. Nobody else. Well, second place at a 153. That's Deacon Hughes, just about 4.2 seconds back. That gap from 1st to 2nd.
70 autos, 6 to 11. And like I said, most of these guys are around 9 and 10. Got an 8-year-old in the pack. And it's pretty consistent, 9 and 2-year-olds with 1 8-year-old. And that 8-year-old's running really good as he works his way around. But it's going to be Weston Nixon, the Flying Ford machine, continuing to lead. Once he pulled the trigger and got out front, he has been rocking it along. He's got about a 4-second lead of a second.
He is checking out. Boy, I tell you what, Hughes hanging tough. He has been under attack this whole moto. Morcal is right there again, or Bauer, I should say, on that 118.
As your leaders make their way around, they're doing a good job. They'll be picking up, I do believe, the white flag this time around. I believe so. Yep, there it is. White flag is out for Weston Nixon, the Flying Ford machine. And he continues to ramp it up and really pulling away from the field. Still a good battle for second, though. Hughes and Bauer continue to battle hard. Markle and Tressler got their own little war going on for that 4th and 5th spot.
Yeah, you see Nixon has expanded that lead now to about 8 seconds. But Bauer is right there within tenths of Hughes. Morcal another second back from Bauer. You got Tressler, Nilsson, Schiffer, Schroeder, Burke, and Morcal, Adeline Morcal, sitting back in the 10th spot right now. Coming up next, Super Mini. These are 12 to 15-year-olds. And we have a change. I think that's Bauer who has gone to second. Look at this pack. Second, third, fourth, fifth.
Man, they're having a good time out there, that is for sure.
Hughes now trying to hold off Tressler, who I think is now moved up into the 3rd spot on that 22T machine.
Very competitive class. This is really some good racing. Not only in the front, but all throughout the class. Checkered flag is out, John. There it is.
A dominant win there. Weston Nixon took care of business early as he was able to get by Deacon Hughes, who had the whole shot. Hughes is going to hold on for 3rd place as Gavin Bauer on the 118 machine from Warren, Ohio, will get the 2nd place.
Axel Morkel finishing up 3rd. Colby Tressler 4th, a 22T machine. In 5th, it's going to be Deacon Hughes, a 111 slash machine. Coming up next, it's Super Mini 12 to 17, and that's what it is. It's going to be super. These guys fly. 24 of Blake Tatum out of Kentucky. 43 of Levi Jenkins out of Tennessee. The 55, Coy Jackson out of Ohio. The 137 of Wyatt Waller out of Illinois. The 370 of Ethan Cornell out of New York. And Trevor Hughes out of Scott, Pennsylvania. The 620 machine on that JC Racing VPE Twin Flow Vision Custom Concrete machine.
Coming up, Super Mini, race number 11. And we've got some track prep going on right now before we get into the Super Mini class.
When I came here to the ranch, like right when you roll through the gates, everyone kind of says you feel the same thing. This is such a special place.
Welcome to Best 42 in the land. All ages from kids up to grown men. Walk through the gates of the coal miner's daughter to make a point clearer than the creek water. Who's the best? Who's it gonna be? In Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. Can you feel the adrenaline? Dirt flies hypnotized by the wind spin. Hear the crowd, everybody's listening. Right on the field. Do what you gotta do for 20+2 out at the ranch.
I love coming to Loretta's. This is my family, right? Really special for me, so a lot of good memories.
Love coming here to Loretta's.
The way around. Got a little track prep going on right now. We'll get these guys rocking here momentarily. What are we getting ready to have? I think we're getting ready to have another little session of track prep. Again, we'd like to welcome all of our friends on the Apex Motoworks network here with us this weekend. Super Mini be coming up here shortly. We got a special, I think, getting ready to go out. Subscribe to this channel, man, Apex Motoworks. Man, they get it done. What a great bunch of guys. They got it going on with the drones and everything else. They do a fabulous job it is really, I work with a lot of NBC Sports and a lot of other ones around the country. These guys are as good as any of them. Always free, and that's a good price. So make sure you do that. Subscribe to this channel, Apex Motorsports. Man, they do a great job. They got the full package. These guys really have they have a great system, very clear. The drone action is phenomenal. It's just awesome. Again, 105.9 on your FM dial. The race action, the Motor Sound Network, coming to you live here from Muddy Creek Raceway, as we have track prep going on the track right now. The doser's out, the skid steer is out as well as they work their way around. We might have the pro show going out for another practice or qualifier. We'll have to check it out. I see them lined up down there. Now's a great time to get you some of that great food, and they've got it going on up there. Barbecue at its finest, kicking chicken. And, man, the best lemonade in Tennessee. Make sure you go by and check those guys out. It is absolutely fabulous. Of course, if you have not got your event T-shirt, Defiance, the leader in that, man, they really, it's a lifestyle is what they call. We're getting ready to do another little interview. I'm not sure who this guy might be that's getting ready to come up. Could be myself yesterday afternoon. Let's go to Carly to the interview.
We are here with announcer for the weekend, Ken Farrell. Ken, you've been in the industry in radio and announcing for forever. How did you get here at Muddy Creek this weekend and announcing motocross in general?
Well, I used to own a motocross track down in Virginia called Birch Creek Motorsports Park. And I started off announcing back in the old days when we used to do bars and stuff like that, doing just some work around my town of Danville, Virginia. And then I bought me a motocross track 30 years ago, and I started announcing there. And here I am today up in Tennessee having the time of my life.
Is there one thing that you love to announce in motocross more than anything else? If it's a fight or a pass or a whole shot, what's like your favorite thing to see and announce?
Well, I always like to start. And when I raced motocross, that was my favorite part of the track. Always the start was a lot of fun, but I do like to start, and I like to see who, especially sometimes the people that are favored to win don't get a good start, and they got to come up through the pack. It makes it really exciting. Makes it really exciting for the spectators as well as for the announcers. We get wound up tight.
They don't always ask the announcer for their pro pick for the weekend. Do you have someone that you're keeping your eye out for to win?
Well, the little young Mr. Hedrick. He's one of my favorite. He's been racing with me ever since he was 5 years old, and he is unbelievably, he's the fastest man on the planet right now. So all these guys are gunning for him. It's going to be hard to beat him, but you never know. Anything can happen in our sport of ATV racing.
It absolutely can. Well, thank you for doing what you do, and we will hear a lot more from you this weekend, Ken Farrell.
Glad to do it. Glad to be here at Muddy Creek Raceway for this Joe Byrd Memorial. Joe was a good friend of mine, and this is a pleasure to be here at Muddy Creek. The Gammon family, another great family of our sport.
Thank you.
Good. All right, we got the track prep. We got the pros coming back out. They're going to have a little 5-minute session to do nothing but do starts. So the pros are coming out for another practice session here at Muddy Creek, and they'll be launching off the SSI launching pad right there as they make their way towards the starting area here at Muddy Creek Raceway. Again, welcome all of our friends all around the world on this wonderful, wonderful day here in Tennessee on this Apex Motoworks telecast. Man, I'll tell you what, it's these guys doing a great job, and we're having a big time. I'm here with John Patrick, the voice of Tennessee Motocross, and we are having a big time doing this broadcast this weekend. As the pros lining up, you see them in their spot. They're at the SSI launching pad. Again, they'll be doing about 5 minutes of hole shots, and this is another practice session for our pros as they getting ready to take on this Muddy Creek National Track, and that'll crank up. Their first moto is at 1:30 this afternoon. Well, all the bells and whistles, everything looks really wonderful out here at Muddy Creek Raceway. The Victory Sports crew has really put the polish on this place. It looks as good as I've ever seen it, John.
Yeah, really put in some work, obviously, this week. Not as many changes as we might have expected. If it's nothing wrong with it, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And track does look just choice today. We've had good weather, had just enough rain in the midweek, so conditions are perfect. Should have no rain the rest of the weekend. Very small chance of some, you know, afternoon or evening showers and whatnot, but no worries.
I would think that this will be over with. What I saw this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning when I was getting up to get over here, I think it's going to be late, 5 or 6 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock before any major showers come in. But I'll tell you, I don't know, if you live on the East Coast like I do in Virginia and here in Tennessee, boy, we're all hurting. We're all down on precipitation. We really, really, I know the Midwest and the mid-northeast up there, they're getting some good rain. But, boy, we've been really, really hurting for weather.
Yeah, a lot of people, I mean a lot, complaining that, you know, the main recreational lake around here, Boone Lake, is not full. Normally, obviously, at full summer pool this time of year, and it's not, but, you know, just been no rain. So you can't fill it if you don't have rain.
We've only had 0.3 of an inch rain in 5 or 6 weeks in Virginia, in southern Virginia where I live. So, but you know, when I come up here, y'all must have had some because it looks a whole lot greener. And your grass doesn't crunch like mine does down in Virginia.
It's greened up a little this week.
As they line them up, here we go. They drop the gate. We're going to do starts. So these guys will be doing just starts for about 5 minutes or so before they go out on the track. So this is another special pro practice session going on right now as they got them lined up, and here we go. All of them are pulling right up on that starting gate, and they're doing some spinning some tires, getting everything pretty much so. Here we go. First one making its way into the turn. Like I said, they'll just be doing starts for about 5 minutes so they can get the feel on how this start is, what kind of hookup they need to do, what this setting is. So these guys are just trying to figure stuff out, trying to figure out what they need to do.
Yeah, they'll be back
to get a start.
They'll be back thrashing in the pits here shortly, just getting the last minute tweaks and whatnot they've got to get done.
I tell you what, the pros is just unbelievable. You guys in watching this telecast, you just not going to believe the race action and the speeds these guys do and what they jump on four-wheelers. It is absolutely amazing. And these are the best athletes in the world